midlife awakening as opposed to midlife crisis. And the definition of it is actually quite good. And I think it's what you and I and a whole bunch of people kind of in our age group are experiencing. What defines a midlife awakening? It's like a shift in perspective. You begin to question your current path, career, relationships, purpose. Not because it's broken, but because it no longer feels aligned. That's the first one. An inner nudge. There's a growing discomfort with just existing. You want more meaning, more fulfillment, more authenticity.
It's nice and clear, actually.
Yeah, it's not bad. It was weird because I started the call early, but it wasn't recording.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, so like I could see my panel, and then your panel was blank. And all of a sudden, your panel disappeared. I'm like, what? What's going on? I was actually in the middle of sending you an email, redoing the link. And then I heard this, hello? And it was like, oh, it's you.
It's God.
Oh, it's crazy, man. So how's things?
Yeah, good, man. Yeah, really good. Sorry, I've been a little bit AWOL. Actually, I meant to contact you a couple of days ago, and I thought this morning, I went on a walk, and I thought I'm going to send you a text, and then I realised you'd sent me one.
Yeah. But, no, it's cool. It's cool. I'm the same. I had I signed up for a coaching course. Hey, so cool. I think after our chat and I had a couple of catch ups as well. It's like I think this is kind of what I want to do. I still want to do the group stuff, and that is kind of like why I want to get some skills up. And so there was I went to a webinar. I tell you what, man, it was like the longest Zoom meeting I'd ever been on. It was 9 hours. I screenshotted it. Yeah, it started off in the morning. And look, there were a bunch of breaks and stuff, but towards the end, I was like, oh.
Yeah, worn out, huh?
It was tiring, yeah. So I signed up for that. The certification stuff starts pretty soon, and there's some marketing and stuff behind it. So
good.
I'll see how I go. And authentic education. It's an ICF certification thing.
Yeah, authentic education.
Yeah,
they're pretty cool, actually.
So it looked all right, and it's funny because I think it might have been after I caught up with you. Because you know how the phone's listening, right? So it started spamming me with all of these like coaching courses.
Yeah.
So I saw the authentic one. I thought, all right, look, I'll give it a shot. It's free. I'll see what's going on. And there was this other one there was a guy by the name of Luke something or other. Anyway, I signed up for that as well. That was like $7. So I thought, $7. It was like a 5-day thing.
Yes.
And
I actually did that one.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, it was actually pretty good.
I canned it. So what happened was when I was doing the authentic one, I started Googling the other one, just as I was listening.
Yep.
And then I didn't some of the Reddit reviews were pretty harsh from it because it's a different because I think what they were saying it's his own modality in a way, like it's his modality.
Yep.
Whereas the authentic one isn't really a modality as such. It's more about from what I understand anyway, it's more about listening to the person and then you being able to provide solutions that you've used yourself, rather than providing this is the, I can't remember what he calls it. It's like the love modality or the hope modality. And people are, they're meant to be taught that to then teach others in a way.
Oh, okay.
So I ended up canning it. And I think I'm going to stick with this one. So I'll see how I go. It's a big step. It's expensive. Obviously, you know what personal development's like, right? It's not cheap.
Yeah, absolutely. But the thing is, I think, if you apply it and you're going to do it in a business, it pays itself off, pretty quickly. Yep. And it's been with the ICF, there's a certain protocol and standard that they have to meet, and they do kind of follow a framework that they use throughout the industry. So at least it's kind of like something that's proven. So it gives you something really good to follow.
That's awesome. Yeah, and look, I still think our idea is going to work. I was trying to think of a name for it during the weekend, and nothing came to me. But just to be able to talk to somebody at this level, and I've been telling heaps of people about it. I said, I want to start this podcast. We're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about that, spirituality, this and that. And they're like, yeah, that's not a bad idea. You know, it's funny because I don't think it was you. It might have been somebody else. But, you know, after I did that sort of webinar thing and just asking ChatGPT a whole bunch of stuff, all these words came up, and one of them was like midlife awakening as opposed to midlife crisis, and the definition of it is actually quite good, and I think it's what you and I and a whole bunch of people kind of in our age group are experiencing. And let me just bring up the definition that I sent to people, because I screenshotted it. And I'd never heard of the term before, and when I read it, it was like, oh, that's exactly it.
That's like, pretty cool.
Okay, so what defines a midlife awakening? It's like a shift in perspective. You begin to question your current path, career, relationships, purpose, not because it's broken, but because it no longer feels aligned. That's the first one. An inner nudge. There's a growing discomfort with just existing. You want more meaning, more fulfillment, more authenticity. Less external chasing. Success, money, and status start to matter less. Peace, connection, and self-understanding matter more. And a desire to rewrite your story. You realize you can change the direction without it meaning you failed. You're not starting over, you're starting deeper.
And right.
I thought, that
pretty
cool.
Yes,
it does.
Absolutely.
And it's funny because, you know, I'm part of a bunch of WhatsApp groups, and I'm part of a smaller one with 3 other females. You know, as we said, there's not many guys, so it's a lot easier to have these, you know, spiritual talks with females, and we're all roughly the same age, give or take 5 years. And it's like, yep, I started at 40, I started at 39, where there's this sudden, it actually is quite sudden when you think about it. At least for me, it was. I wouldn't say it was like, you know, waking up the next day and deciding this, but I can't remember me sort of gradually going into it. I remember almost as if it did feel like it was like waking up and going, oh, I don't need this anymore. I need something else. And then there's this time spent trying to find what that is, you know, and going, you know, and working some things out. And all the girls in the group said the same thing. It's like, yep, this is what it is. I went corporate. Now I'm starting to work for myself. And, you know, I could have been earning 6 figures easily, and now I'm earning much less, but I'm a lot happier in doing what it is that I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I've told that word to a number of people, and a lot of them are like, yeah, that's pretty much about it. You know what I mean?
That's the perfect name, I think. Especially when you've, you know, the way you've described it, it sounds like a spiritual awakening, but it's just in everyday terms, really, that people do actually, you know, experience that when they get to this midlife crisis, and you know, many of us go in different directions, but yeah, that's a great place to start, and I think it really encompasses it.
It does. And, you know, I was talking to somebody today about it as well, in comparison to that term of midlife crisis. And it's almost like the generation ahead, because we're in the same generation. So the generation ahead of us, it was deemed a crisis, because they were saying how, you know, you're at this particular age, so either, you know, late 40s or 40s in a way, and you're retired soon, or you're retiring soon. So you have to work, you have to make sure you're stable. So the crisis was around that. It was about work, you know, earn as much money as you can, because you're going to have to live off that for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Where now it's different. Like, I know a number of people that, look, most of which don't have kids, but they've taken, you know, they've substituted stability. So say buying a house, and substituted it with freedom and travel. So like, we'll just rent, and the money that we would have put into the house, like, it's just us. Let's just go around the world a couple of times, you know, because that's going to give them a lot more fulfillment than sort of staying home and buying this, you know, buying things for their house, which at the end of the day, you know, it's not going to be worth much, you know, to them, they'd rather have the experiences.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
The mindset is shifting a lot for that sort of stuff.
Yeah, certainly has. Yeah, especially with when you look at things like superannuation, when we probably when you first started working might have been around the same time I did, and I think superannuation was probably around, but it wasn't really like an everyday thing, that people had to contribute. And because I know my parents didn't know anything about it until it became compulsory. Mm. And so, prior to that, you had the pension and all of that sort of thing, and so they never really had to worry about those things. And but during our generation, we've kind of had to really think about what's going to happen when we retire, because, whatever we make is going to be our nest egg, really.
Yeah.
Or a combination of both, maybe, a little bit of pension and whatever we've created ourselves, So
that was one of the things that during the coaching webinar was the one thing that kind of stuck, is that you could, both of us could keep doing this for as long as we wanted, really.
Yeah.
And look, I've had the IT thing for, almost 2 decades now, and I still love it, but it still requires me to be here-ish. You know what I mean? I do a lot of stuff remotely, but I can't imagine myself having to hustle for more clients. Like, I don't want that kind of hustle.
Yes.
Like, I'd rather have the hustle of being able to help people and asking and speaking to them. And this is something that easily I could do for another 10, 20, 30 years if I'm lucky, because it's essentially just conversations, really.
Yeah, 100%.
Structured conversations that are motivating and fulfilling for both parties, or even more people if it's going to be a group thing.
Yeah, indeed.
So it's going to be fun. What do you got going on? You said you had a party to set up for?
Yeah, Kerry's boys turned 30. Was it yesterday? They both turned 30 yesterday. Yeah. Oh. So she's put on a party for them, and it's going to be not too far from where we are, but it's in a cafe. And okay. So we get it at about 3:00, and we can go and set up, and everyone's going to be there about 6:00. But prior to that, we're kind of running backwards and forwards with things, cakes and decorations and all of that sort of thing. So, and last minute kind of call it like a photo kind of reel or whatever. So I've got the job of doing that at the last minute.
Yeah. It's always like that, isn't it? Like
she thought about it last night.
Okay.
That's how last minute. But,
I've got something similar. So Cadence was 18 on Monday.
Yep.
And
wow, that's hard to believe.
and she wants her party on I think it's the 23rd. So
yeah.
And we knew this a while back. It's still, she could have given us more sort of warning. And Liv was like, she's inviting like 80 people. And I'm like, 80 people? Like, what the hell? Like, how does she know 80 people? And look, I understand. Like, she's got school, and she plays netball, and she's working. And so, there's a combination, and it's obviously friends of friends and all this sort of stuff. And I said, look, hopefully like half don't turn up. Like I don't have the biggest house. Yeah. And I think last time she had a party, it might have been around, say, 30 or 40 people. And even still, I was like, I got to move out for that night. We still don't know what's going on. Like, I think these days it might be a little bit less of a hassle. Like, I think last time we just had like pizzas, and we've got a TV on the pergola and like a stereo system. Like, I think they just use Spotify. You just Spotify and some speakers and stuff. So hopefully it's kind of going to be that kind of low key-ish. But I don't know. I'm not looking forward to it. So that's interesting.
Might be a case of putting their marquee out the back and let them go for it.
Yeah. I think that's what we. I think when it was her birthday, it rained a tad. But it's always good to have kind of like a bonfire thing at the back.
Yeah.
So I think we had that.
Cool.
So we're hoping that the weather's going to be okay. And from the past, your boys are a bit older for the part, but for like my kids, the going thing just seems to be come over and we'll order pizza, and that's it. It's like it's super low key. It's it's not even a grand thing anymore. Like, people just buy pizzas and they have music and people just talk, which is fine.
Absolutely.
So hopefully it's going to be, something like that and much easier.
Fingers crossed. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, right? And you too. So how many are you expecting for the 30th?
I think there's about 50 people, but it's mainly family and very close friends. Like even I don't think my boys can make it actually, because I think one's with doing something with footy.
Yep.
The other one's going away or something like that. So that was the only family I had coming, because the boys just wanted kind of their family, and that's fine.
Yep.
So it's kind of low key. It was supposed to be. Because really for their 30th, they're doing the Canada trip. And that's happening next month. But I decided to bow out because of the, get this on the road,
Yep.
So they're looking forward to that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, should be cool. Right.
So, okay, you got a hard out at 5. So I'll explain how this kind of works. So if you have a look in the top of your screen, you might have something where it says it's uploading. Can you see that somewhere? Or not really? You can't see it at your end?
It's like a 57%.
Yeah, so what happens normally is that when we chat, so I've got the same, it's happening at my end as well. So mine's like 60, 68, 67, depending on how much stuff goes on.
Yeah.
So when we stop the recording, don't close your browser just yet. Like, if I end it, it will still continue to upload in the background.
Gotcha.
So whatever browser you're using, so if you're using Chrome or Firefox or whatever, just keep that open, even though this screen might actually end. And then once it's 100%, it's done. So it actually separates audio tracks. It does some really clever editing stuff where it does automatic transcription.
Wow!
And you can edit the video based off the transcription. So if you don't like certain words, you can highlight the word and delete it, and it'll delete the video component.
Right.
So it's actually quite clever. And it does a whole bunch of other stuff, like it does shorts, and it does it'll take a screenshot and have that as kind of like the thumbnail.
Oh, cool.
So it's pretty good. Like RG, the virtual assistant, he uses this to edit. So whenever I record something, he actually imports it into Riverside. And then is able to do that sort of stuff and then export it back out. So, but I think it works really well. And I think, I don't know, like I feel like super comfortable in this space talking to you like this, and your video seems really good.
Oh, that's good.
So,
what's the sound like actually? Because I'm just using a cheap.
Yeah, you sound really good to me. Like in my headphones, it's really clear. And with part of the processing, it does some normalizing as well.
Yep.
So it'll get rid of some peaks and sort of normalize stuff. And I think I've got noise reduction on, so it gets rid of a lot of background noise. So
excellent.
Yeah, but if you're happy in doing it like this, and I'll give you what'll happen is I'll get Arju to export it and just whack it together, and then I'll send it to you.
Yeah, that'd be great.
If you're cool with that, we'll just set up a time just to. It'll be like we might have a bit of structure at the start in terms of, okay, let's just talk about this for however long. It could be 30 minutes. And, it's good because I feel like we're not talking over too much.
Yeah.
There's a bit of pausing, and then, so I think it'll be fun. I always like to talk about this stuff in general, and even more so when it's like another dude. Like, sure, I'm not saying it's not fun with the girls, but sometimes it's hard to relate.
I get you. I understand.
Sometimes I feel left out because just like the WhatsApp group I was telling you about now. One of the girls posted up and said, "Hey, this is the amount of protein we should be eating." It's like, that's not the amount of protein I should be eating. Like I feel kind of left out and all this sort of stuff. But no.
I was going to say the first recording would have been great, talking about the name, how you came up with the name, because I thought that was so good.
Well, no, it's not. That's the name that I wrote for ChatGPT. There was actually a name that I really liked. I think I Googled it. No, sorry. I used ChatGPT, and I asked it some weird stuff. It was kind of like, what would be a good name for a podcast for two cool guys talking about spirituality and goals or something like that? But the very first answer that came up, I really liked. And then when I when I went to try and Google it a bit more, it was kind of taken already. And I'm like, it was like surreal something or other. There was like a combination of goals and spirituality.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, that's perfect. And then I tried to Google it, and it was like, it wasn't taken as a podcast, but it was taken as like a statement. Yeah. Like it could have led to other people and other stuff. So I'm like, then I tried to manipulate it, and I didn't like it, so I sort of gave up on it. But I'll think about it. I'll think about some other names, but it was close. There were a couple of really good ones, and I'd sort of stopped researching when I had to hop on this call for the coaching thing. So if you have any ideas for names, shoot them through.
So that midlife awakening is taken or something, is it? Or?
No, you know what? That's probably midlife awakening podcast. Let's just see if there's something there. Yeah, there is one that's called Midlife Awakening on Spotify.
Is there really?
Yeah, that's okay. But if there's I was thinking of something a bit more you and me, sort of combined together without it sounding too cheesy and stuff. So if there's something that you can come up with, let me know.
Yeah, I'll have a chat with Chat.
Yeah. So just before you go, so you said you were working today. It's like, did you do some coaching today, or was it other stuff?
No, I'm just doing some training, and I've probably got about 3 days to catch up on some of the backlog of work.
Yep.
I've been doing some things with Chat to get closer with the flow of the course and all of that sort of thing, slides, yada yada yada, all of that sort of thing, all the detail stuff. And I was doing some domain searching last night as well, and I couldn't stop myself, and I think I've got about 30 names on that I've saved.
Yeah.
And I went through some of them with Kerry, and she was no help.
Yeah.
And I thought maybe I'd just keep it really simple and call it either Awaken Soul or Awaken Guide. And and so it's just got the what do you call it after the dot? Is that, it's not a prefix? What do you call it?
No, it's the domain. So
domain, So I thought I'll just keep the .guide domain. It's really hard to get a .com with the proper a good name. So I'll just stick with either Awaken or Awaken Soul, I think.
Otherwise, like I think when I've done something similar, I think I told you last time, I audio record it, I voice memo it, and then I play it back. Yeah. And then anything I hear and I go, okay, that's not bad. Okay, that's not bad. And occasionally I'll get one and I'll be like, that sounds a bit better. Because you have to say it, right? You have to, it's different when you look at it and you buy it and then you tell somebody, it's like, hi, I'm Shane from Awaken.guide. Hi, I'm Shane from such and such. Yeah. And then sometimes you'll have this, overall level of kind of okay-ish. And then one might actually be, I think sounds that works.
Cool. Yeah.
And then you look it up and find that it's taken.
I might do that actually. Just go through all of them.
Yeah, just go through it. Just record it and just see how comfortable it is to say.
Yeah.
And there might be one that sort of that stands out. So
because there were a lot that looked really good when I was searching it. When I look back, I went, no, delete.
Yeah.
It sounds good in the moment. But,
and it's funny too, because they're kind of cheap, hey?
Yeah.
Like, depending if it's a .com and it's free, it's, anywhere from $10, $20 or something like that. And you're like, I'll just get all these just in case.
The funny thing is the .guides, they start at $56.
Yeah. But, a lot of the custom ones are expensive.
Yeah.
And I had one ages ago with a VR company, and I found that it was it's probably better now, but back in the day it was difficult for people to get around their head that was the actual address. So I had a .digital, so in my head I'm thinking, that's easy, and then people were going, casa.digital.com. It's like no, it's just casa.digital. It's like, that's different. I said, yeah, it is. That's why I wanted it. So obviously if the .com, if it's available, but
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's that would be preferred, but yeah.
The other thing that you can do is I operate under the Decaf network, and I kind of stole an idea from that company that that's now gone defunct almost. Honey, you know Honey? Have you heard of Honey?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the domain that they ran with initially was Join Honey or Get Honey or something like that. So it kind of it's a verb in front of the name, which gets you to do something. So it could be like, get awakened or something along those lines, which you can add to the front of it and then have the .com at the end.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good, actually.
Yeah, get or join or discover or something that is a verb in a way. And then you think about it and go, that's kind of cool. And so I even though I go by the Decaf network, I still have Join Decaf, and I tell people that at the start because it's easy to remember.
Yep.
It's like Join Decaf, and you can just have it as a URL forward anyway. So if you go to decafnetwork.com, it goes there. If you go to joindecaf.com, it goes to the same spot. Doesn't matter. But it's easy to remember, and it's easy to tell people. And it's catchy in a way. So
it is very much. Yeah. Easy to remember that way too. One thing before I jump off, how often did you want to do these?
It's up to you, man. Like I'm pretty.
How free are you every day?
Look, I'm pretty.
I was actually thinking of running a little bit of not a marathon, but I was thinking we could do like one every day for a week and see how it goes. Because we could, just pick 5 subjects for half an hour. And I mean, you can see how quickly half an hour has gone, right? Yeah.
And it's easy. Like I said, you're right. Like we've been talking for literally half an hour now, and it feels like we've not even scratched the surface of any one thing. We've just, it's been up here. And so if there was a bit of focus on one subject, that'd go super quick. And then it'll be like, oh, I guess we'll have to continue it tomorrow because we've gone super deep. So I'm happy to try that out. And
because I was thinking then that would give us like a lot of content. Like if we did that for a month, that's
easily
a shitload of content, right?
Yeah.
And if we were to, I don't know if you wanted to put this on like a YouTube channel or something.
I think we will.
That.
Yeah. So
that's what I was thinking.
That's what I was thinking is like, let's, obviously you get your domain. I've got one domain, and let's think of something together that we can call ourselves collectively.
Yep.
And what we could just do is, if we get a domain, we can just either point it straight to like the YouTube channel.
Yep.
So instead of, or we can do other things like we can get a Linktree account and just put other things there if we want to go down that path, because, we could start just doing this video and find that people are wanting to like connect to us in other ways. We might need to do some socials. So, but I'm happy to do that. What we might do at some point as well, maybe in the next couple of days or on the weekend, if you've got time, is Riverside also have a pretty good app with the same thing. So I've got a paid subscription, which is great, which just means that I can start the calls and then I can call you in and we can try it from a mobile as well. So, we don't have to always be in front of the computer.
Yep.
We can try one meeting just as a test and we'll go, hey, I'm going to try this on my mobile. You do it on your mobile. We'll just do what we're doing now.
That's perfect.
From our phones. Yeah.
Yep.
And, so this is fun, man. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, me too.
So I'll stop the recording. Like I said, on your end, if you can just leave like whatever browser you've got open running until you kind of see that uploading to 100%, and then you'll close it. And I'll get it processed and I'll send it to you and we'll check it out from there. So
where it says leave, I don't leave either, or
you can leave, but the window itself the browser, leave that open.
Yeah, no problem. All right,
cool, man. Easy. I'll stop this recording and